we're experiencing a huge, constant threat to our communities and our future generations. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Reno Reed of the Reed team with Chartwell Realty in beautiful Kansas City, and I am not exaggerating. I think this is potentially the biggest threat to our communities and our future generations that we've experienced in a long time. Now, of course, this is a real estate focus. This isn't talking about climate change or anything like that, but typically, historically, one of the two best ways for somebody to raise their net worth has been through the purchase of a home. That's still true to this day. As your price, as your property, the price goes up, you pay down your loan, you're gaining some equity so that if in the situation that you have to move or you just want to sell it off, you can get typically a large chunk of your money back into your pocket. Now you can use that to invest in a new house, but you can do that for a number of different reasons. So, what am I talking about when I say that this might be one of the biggest threats to our future generations and to our communities? Well, we're seeing a huge demand spike right now. We're seeing a huge amount of competition, and a lot of the competitors are people who are looking to build their investment portfolios. Now, I'm not talking about the little guy. I'm not talking about your coworker Jim Bob who has 3 rental properties in your area. I'm talking about some of these really big hedge funds, these big boy investors that just have hundreds of thousands of properties. So why is that a potential threat? Well, to keep in mind, when supply is low and demand is high, or demand stays constant and supply lowers, the price of these properties is going to go up. Now, what is going to happen when these people and these big firms are buying up tons and tons and tons of properties to use them as rentals? Your options to buy a house go down. They're not going to sell them because they're making a profit on their investments as rentals. As they accumulate more and more of these properties, you're going to start seeing less and less properties, which means the same amount of potential buyers are going to be fighting over even less. That's what we're having happen right now. That's why the prices are at such an egregious level. They're raising so fast. And that's why we don't have a ton of properties compared to the demand. So as time goes on, it's not unthinkable, if we're not careful, that we see a world in which these private hedge funds own so many of the properties that it's almost impossible for somebody to buy a house in the future. That puts us in a world that's not too hard to envision, in which, the only people who have the ability to sell off the house and to improve their net worth are people who already have houses today or can get them in the near future. Now that's terrifying. That has really scary implications for generational wealth and for generational poverty. So what is it that we can do in the short term to prevent this scary situation from happening? Now, as a seller, you can be cognizant of the fact of who you're selling to. Now, I understand that sometimes the offers that you're getting are just too good to pass up, and that is what it is. I understand that. But just understanding the implications of what it is that's going to happen. Now, one person's not going to make or break the whole thing, so that's not where I think this situation is going to stop. HOAs already have begun to limit the number of rentals that can be in their particular areas. We also talked about earlier this week how the city of Shawnee, Kansas was banning co-rentals. So local legislative action, I think, is more likely to be the case to help try and prevent this from happening to much of an extent. Now, do I think it'll happen federally? Probably not. But if it gets bad enough and enough people start speaking up about the practice and rising up about the practice, it's not unreasonable to think it might happen in our lifetime. But just based off of the political landscape that I've seen in my lifetime, I think that's a long shot. I think our most likely outcome is that our local communities are going to have to come together in an attempt to protect our local communities, protect our future generations, so that our sons and daughters can go out and buy a house, so that they can have that investment that helps them and their net worth. Because if it's just all in the hands of some big conglomerate, some hedge fund, all they can do is rent. And every time they pay every month to live, all the money goes to the landlord and they see none of the return. With a house, you're paying down your premium, you're still paying a little bit of interest, but you're seeing the return because when you turn around and sell it, when you decide to move, you can turn around and sell it. You can capitalize off of some of that income. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are there any ways that you can see to kind of counteract some of the trends that we're seeing right now? Like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're looking to buy or sell a house in the near future, I'd love to help you with that. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.